And on, what is it, Tuesday?
It is Tuesday.
Tuesday,
yes.
June 13th.
There we go.
Episode 239 of the 359 podcast, as I'm doing terrible at my job already.
Are we live
morning.
on Periscope?
Periscope is not working today for some odd reason.
Sorry, Periscope.
And
it is Periscope.
I'll get over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
I'm over it.
In the
We're
house,
done.
Ben Fox, Rubin, Roger Cheng, and we are hustling today because we still got E3 going on and we got lots to talk about.
We got plenty to talk about. We're going to be rolling through our review of the Surface laptop. We're going to be talking about VR arcades and a Venmo killer from the banks that Ben's going to run through for us, since I don't know anything about
That's okay.
Zelle. It's called
Yes.
Zelle.
I will get you up to speed,
All right.
not to worry.
If you have any questions on any of these topics, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we'll get to them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
From 3 to...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
The official review of the Surface laptop is out, and our own Dan Ackerman is a fan. It's got a slim, modern design and is portable enough to be travel-friendly, but the one question mark is whether or not the decision to use fabric, which is called Alcantara,
Chitara.
was a good idea. Ben, what do you think?
It sounds like a fun idea, I guess. Or it's a little bit different, right?
It's definitely different.
It's the problem is, as Dan mentions in his review, it's not like you can reupholster a laptop, or perhaps you can. Maybe there will be new mall kiosks.
Could you imagine college kids with Cheeto stained fingers just basically screwing over the whole surface?
So this fabric is apparently used in like automotive stuff and boats, so it's not like it's this like super cheap or crappy material.
Right.
However, it may be this like first gen concept that they'll throw out eventually because everybody's kind of scratching their heads over it. Like, do I really want to spend $1,000 on a laptop that's going to last 5, maybe 7, 8 years?
Right.
With fabric on it.
Now, do you think that they've got an opening here with the MacBook Air hasn't really been updated in a while in a significant way? Does that mean that we've got that Microsoft has an opening for people to actually go and buy this as an alternative?
I don't know. Do you really buy that? Like the idea that people are going to switch over to Microsoft or to switch over to Windows just because the MacBook Air hasn't been updated? I think that that's really hard to say.
I mean, it is definitely an affordable. They're definitely going after that market.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's true. We'll see.
The question is this going to get people that would generally go for like the Dell XPS or a Lenovo laptop? Like, is that something that they're actually going to be really interested in?
I don't know. Like some of the Lenovo ones I've seen, the ones that kind of flip over, like the Yoga.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I prefer that flexibility. This is a traditional laptop. It's
very basic, but
it doesn't fold over. It doesn't turn into a tablet. It's just a laptop.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. So anyway, let me tell you all about Zelle.
Zelle.
Have you heard of this? Do you know what it is?
What is this? Like a musical?
So it's a new peer-to-peer payment services from...
Not what I would have guessed.
So from a consortium of banks that the company behind it is called Early Warning. So it's already seems kind of stuffy or a little bit boring.
Early Warning.
Early Warning.
That sounds like something I'd want to avoid.
Yeah. They do risk management for banks. It's like financial services stuff.
We're getting to real sexy territory here.
But at the same time, the really interesting part of Zelle and why I'm telling you about it is because apparently by the end of this month, 86 million people will be able to use it right within their mobile banking apps. You're just going to be able to open up Chase or Wells Fargo app, and then you'll be able to I can send you $5, or if I want, I can Zelle you.
I don't have to be a Chase member as well, right?
No, it's you.
Like
you're
my Bank of America
Chase
account I can transfer money to your Chase
Yes,
account. Okay.
exactly.
All
it's
right.
supposed to be all like throughout this network that all the banks have been utilizing.
Do you think this is potentially fatal to Venmo, which is really, I mean, that's what they do, right?
Maybe. I think that, so Venmo has been putting on a very brave face over this whole thing and saying like, the real enemy here is cash and checks. So we welcome somebody like Zelle, but at the same time, I think that they might be a little bit nervous.
Definitely competition, yeah.
Yeah, that the banks have actually shown up over this whole thing.
All right, lastly, Ian Scher got to check out a VR arcade. Yes, an arcade, which mixes VR headset with movie magic sensors and props to deliver a more immersive experience than you get at home. He was pretty blown away by this. And he said that, this may be what finally gets people into VR.
How many times are we going to say this?
I don't know. It's going to be a lot. I mean, if you look at the video now,
this 5 years
if you look at
now.
the video now, like you can see Ian basically walking around floorboard, like he's walking around this plank.
He looks
and
very silly.
As he was describing this, like as he was walking across that plank. He was sweating. He was feeling real anxiety.
It's kind of cool.
It actually fooled him into thinking he was in this world. And that's really what VR, the promise of VR is all about, right?
I like the idea of somebody jury rigging their living room to try to do the same thing. But
They're too cheap to like go to the arcade.
Right. But at the same time, I think this is a really smart idea to create something like a VR arcade.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it happens.
Did you guys spend time in the arcades as a kid?
Of course. Especially on the boardwalk, man. That's what you do.
What was your game of choice?
Oh my God, I don't even remember. You know the thing where you throw the ball down the ramp?
What?
The
Skee ball.
skee ball. Thank you.
I meant video game. I was going to say Street Fighter 2, but all right, skee ball works too.
There was the TMNT one.
All
that I
right.
played a lot.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
The 4-player one?
Yeah.
That was awesome. All right, for more of these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening. Now, we went a little over there.
I'm not sure.
It's fine.
I think we were like way over, right? The timer stopped.
cares?
Yeah, the timer didn't work today, but I'll get over it. All right, so let's talk arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, skee ball, that doesn't count. We're talking
I
video
know.
games.
Fine.
I talked about arcades, and the first thing you thought about was
Okay.
skee ball.
I don't know.
We're
Whatever.
talking about like video games here.
We had 4 minutes. I was trying to, dance as fast as I could. Skee ball.
Doug B in the chat says, I've literally dreamt about this. I think he's excited.
Yeah.
About the VR arcade experience.
That would be fun. Come on. I think I'd get terrible vertigo, though. I don't know how Ian got through that. I'd be on the floor.
He was saying he was really stressed. He was sweating. He was actually kind of had a mild panic attack, like walking across that plank. It's freaky because it looks like you're 10 stories, 20 stories above the ground. So
Yeah, it is a fun idea to integrate like actual physical objects to really add
Samsung's
to
actually
the feel
been
of
doing
it.
that for a while. I remember they demonstrated with their Gear VR headset you were skateboarding. Basically, it was VR footage of someone skateboarding. They put you on a skateboard that was kind of like had limited motion, but you could sort of like rock it back and forth, and you felt like you were on a skateboard. And it was it was immersive enough that if you stopped thinking too hard, like you could kind of see yourself skateboarding down the street. This seems like it takes it to another experience. Like you could pull open a drawer and you grab a gun, and there's actually a physical gun there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that it's also something that if people don't really want to shell out the kind of money that they need to for like a heavy duty VR kit, they can just go to the VR arcade down the street,
right?
Plunk down, I don't know, $5, $10, like play a couple games,
I
whatever.
think this is $20, right?
Yeah, which sounds a little high to
It's a
me,
little
but
steep.
whatever.
Yep.
And one of the other ideas that I was just thinking of is like, what if they did like a haunted house, like a whole VR haunted house or something?
I mean, there's already like a haunted house game, or there's some sort of like spooky VR game.
Yeah. We played
I
a
tried.
zombie game.
There's a Ghostbusters one in Times Square. There was.
Oh,
in
Ghostbusters
VR?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Baccalaureate
that would be really
went and
fun.
tried it out.
During Halloween.
that's right. The Proton Pack was the
Yeah,
PC.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty
Smart.
sweet.
Yeah.
That is pretty sweet.
I just you mentioned Ninja Turtles in Time.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a couple
game.
swords and let me play that game in VR.
Oh, totally.
How many classic arcade games would translate to VR? You couldn't do like Street Fighter or something.
I don't know.
You would actually
Ninja
need
Gaiden?
the skill set.
Ninja
You need something where you don't really need the skill set to participate.
What's the one where you're like constantly ducking behind stuff and then you're shooting things? That was
Terminator, Time Splitters.
Time Splitters.
Yeah,
Oh,
Time
was
Splitters
it.
would be great in VR.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be insane.
Is that the
in
one
VR.
where you step on the pedal to duck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's the one I remember.
There was a few like that, but
There
I think
was a
Time
bunch, yeah,
Splitters
yeah.
was probably one of the more notables.
Yeah.
All right, before we get too far off topic, which is too late, let's talk about the Surface laptop. And Jiffer in the chat is asking, when you guys open up the Surface laptop, does it fall backwards? I hear it's screen heavy. Now, I don't know if you guys have had any hands-on, but I saw myself, Ackerman, messing around with it. It's not that heavy.
No,
It seems to be weighted
I
fairly
played
well.
around with it.
Did you?
It didn't seem that bad.
It seems pretty typical for a touchscreen laptop, though, where like it doesn't sit completely in place when you're kind of tapping on it all the time.
Oh yeah. It's not super stable.
Right. But that's
But
fairly
I guess the
typical.
idea is like you've got one finger on your keyboard, the other finger tapping. I guess. To
Yeah.
kind of hold it down.
something like that.
I don't know. I mean, we use Macs, so we don't really incorporate touchscreen into our daily routine,
Which is
right?
too bad. Which is sad.
I don't care. Not really that.
I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm totally over that. Got a mouse.
As always, Danny Green, our boy Danny Green,
Yeah.
on point.
Yo.
Pimp your laptop with tufted leather cover.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Well, that's the problem. Is like you can cover the outside. I think the problem is making like the palm rest area fabric because that's the part that gets dirty. You know, you can,
Right, it could
absorb
get
sweat,
worn.
it can
It can get-
absorb Cheetos, it can absorb whatever. I don't
What's the resale value on it if it gets completely worn out and it just like it doesn't look good after a while?
I don't
It does
know.
not happen to like a metal.
Well, I
frame.
will say it does. Like my MacBook Air, you could see where the palm rest is. Like
Yeah.
The color. It's not like it's
It's not like
dented or
it's
anything.
worn through.
No,
yeah.
but there is a bit of discoloration with.
It's the
my
new
palms.
shine.
Yeah.
The new shine is gone from it. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. While we're on the topic, you mentioned we've got MacBooks, they're company-sanctioned MacBooks
Yes.
versus the Surface laptop. Jonathan Jong, thoughts on 13-inch MacBook Pro versus the Surface laptop? Go. Nice and broad.
Well, the Surface laptop doesn't have a touch bar, so that's one
That's a
thing
bonus.
in its favor.
Yeah.
But no, it's they're pretty comparable machines. I want
They're
to say
somewhat
that
comparable.
I want to say
You're
that
gonna-
the Surface laptop is more like the MacBook Air, like a souped-up MacBook Air, as opposed to
Well, they're the
MacBook
same
Pro.
price. The MacBook
Yeah.
Pro is more expensive.
Yes.
You know, a couple $100 more
I
expensive.
think it has a couple more ports. This one doesn't have USB-C, for
Yeah.
instance. I don't know. I don't think the difference is. It's hard to compare the two because.
Too subjective.
Well, no, it's just if you're into Windows, you're gonna get this. If you're into Mac or Mac OS, you're gonna get MacBook, right?
I don't know. The question for me is like, so with the Surface Pro, Microsoft did like a really fantastic job, like really pushing through the 2-in-1 hybrids.
Right,
And, you know, it's a tablet with like the clip-on keyboard. What exactly are they going to do with this one to actually push forward the concept of a touchscreen laptop? I mean, it's not fabric.
Nothing. I mean, like even Dan points out in his review, like it's one of many laptops that are out there. It's sort of it doesn't break any new ground. I mean, it works with the pencil.
Yeah, the Surface stylus.
Yeah,
It's not the pencil.
pencil's
The Apple
That's
one.
the Apple.
Careful. Come on, man.
Careful.
Come on.
I think the only thing that's going to be a deciding factor out of somebody whose loyalty already lies with one manufacturing operating system versus the other is probably sheerly that material. Because I know myself, as cool as that Surface looks, I'm very nervous about it because I like to eat and drink and do things around my laptop that you probably shouldn't do around a laptop in general. But worst case scenario, it happens on a hard surface. You flip it over, you wipe it off, you're probably okay. You stain your laptop? I mean, has that ever been a phrase that's been uttered before? It's a stupid thing to get wound up about. Is that really a deal breaker? Of course not.
What are you talking about? We spent like weeks talking about the fact of like where like the touch button is on the Galaxy S8.
You're gonna smudge your lens.
That is what this podcast is all about.
The minutia. We just spend all our time on minutia.
Right. But
we
at the
rechange the
same time, that's why I would probably think that if you're in the market, I would still think that you'd probably want to get the Dell XPS 13. I think that that's probably like still gold standard, you know, run-of-the-mill basic laptop that runs on Windows that a lot of people
How much
think
is that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
But it's cheaper than
it's been doing
laptop.
really well. Dell has been selling a lot of those.
All right, so we have to do a quick show today because we got to go get ready for Nintendo at E3. But before we go, Danny Green's asking, what kind of fees are there for Zelle?
Oh, good
No
question.
fees.
None
no
at all.
fees. I mean, like
Free.
it does vary by bank, so you do want to actually check like with your bank before you actually do it. But the big selling point is that it's supposed to be ubiquitous and it's supposed to be free. So I could send you money. You could send me money. It's throughout the U.S. This is not international, at least not yet.
Well, I'd say, are there plans for international?
I asked them about this yesterday, and they said no plans at the moment, but it's certainly a conceivable idea.
Sure.
And
Obviously,
Venmo,
that gets
Venmo
into,
is international.
No,
Oh, it's
Venmo is
not.
also U.S. only. It gets into thornier territory when you
Right.
actually start a P2P payment service internationally.
Is there
I mean,
there
like,
an international one out there?
I mean, like there's money transfer services like Zoom,
But you've got to
Western Union.
but you've got to pay fees for that.
Yeah, and
Heavy
like your
fees.
name has to be more attached to it. You have to like
Right.
because of the criminal and terrorist aspects. You
Yes.
have to be. There have to be more
Safeguards.
in place as
Sure.
opposed to like me just sending Brian $5 and then kind of nobody.
Is there
nobody
a
cares.
social network element like Venmo?
No, they very intentionally avoided
really?
the social
Good.
network element of it because they're trying to make this much broader. It's supposed to be, as I mentioned in my story, Venmo for everyone,
Right.
which maybe they'll get more soccer moms and trucker dads
I don't
into
know.
digital payments. I don't know.
I hated it at first, but I kind of learned to like that social network element.
Yeah.
Nope.
Time I pay Ian back, it's like, thanks for writing my stories. That's always what I say.
All right, let's go ahead and close it up for the day so we can run and get ready for Nintendo.
Yeah, E3
good.
continues.
Yeah.
On and forever and always.
I'm
Cannot
excited.
escape it.
Super NES Mini, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
Fingers
I
crossed.
hope so.
Yeah,
Me
we'll
too.
see. We'll see. All right, if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music. See y'all tomorrow.
Toodaloo!